eventually I'm going to get fired because like I can't keep up this like and I feel like as a comedian I get a little bit of leeway in my jobs to like be a little bit of a jerk because they're like, oh, he's just being funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I can get away with not giving a shit as long as I was doing my job to my full potential. But I started to feel like Brett Favre in his last season when you knew he should have retired 2 seasons ago. And I was like, I can't be the guy on the field when my time is over.
Yeah.
Something's going to go wrong and I'm going to burn this bridge. So let me just put in my notice, go out the right way, and fucking wipe my hands of it because I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. It's also like there's like so much mentally that like, goes into that. But one of the things that is like, yes, like I called my mom, I think like the weekend after Josh Wolf, I called my mom that Sunday and I was like, I get it why people stay serving. Like I get it. Mm-hmm. It's like I get why people serve for their entire lives and just like live on $30,000 a year. Like I understand it because like you always have money and it's weird. Like it's crazy.
I started serving when I was 18 and I quit my last serving job when I was 35.
Yeah. No, like people, you have money and you make, you made enough to live. Maybe not anymore. Like to really like live, you know, a comfortable lifestyle. But my mom, that day we had that conversation, she was like, well, is that going to be you? And I was like, well, you know, no. And she was like, well, why? And I think about that a lot. Like, why would I not stay serving for the rest of my life? And it's because I decided like long ago that like my definition of success was being happy. Like I won't be successful until I'm like happy every day and like happy doing what I'm doing. And money is like not a part of that.
Right.
And so like I think that's like important is like, yes, like it's so nice to like walk out with like $100 after a night of working, but like if you're not happy doing it, then there's no point in doing it.
Yeah. You know, this is another strange aspect of why I don't have the passion for the restaurant industry as I used to. Like I'm getting to the age / point in my life where I want to be able to have a long-term relationship where I can invest a lot of time and energy into that. And if I were going to be single for forever and I didn't have anybody that I would eventually want to go home to or maybe have kids or whatever sometime down the road. If I didn't want those things, then being a bartender for the rest of my life, I think would be fucking legit. Like just nightlifing it up the whole time. And like, I mean, whenever I was doing the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I made stupid money.
Yeah.
Like you say $35,000 a year. I made more than that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this is my first year like serving.
Yeah,
so
fair.
Yeah.
I easily would make $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
Doing just those 4 night shifts.
Yeah.
And it was fucking sick. But then like you got 4 nights out of your week where you don't really have a social life.
Yeah.
And you don't have an intimate romantic life and like if I wanted to, I could be one of those dudes that takes home a new girl every other night or whatever. And that could be a thing, but I don't want that. Like I did that when I was like fucking 20, 22, 20 like when I was younger. And I don't have the like I no longer drink obviously, and when you're drinking, it's easier to fuck around like that in my opinion. Yeah. And I if I wanted to be that kind of a person, I wouldn't have the excuse of, well, I was fucked up as often, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't...
Well, it's just like, also like, I mean, I'm manage a bar at 20, like it's hard. Like I don't have weekends. Yeah. Like I really don't. And that's, I mean, I guess I'm also young, so it's like, okay, because I don't need to, you know, be going out every night and like doing things. Like I don't have a life outside of work, which is sad.
Plus you can't legally go out and
drink.
Drink
that's the
anyway.
other thing. Is like
so
I can't.
What are you gonna?
Exactly, you know. But it's like, I mean, it sucks like not being able to go to like like friends, like holiday parties and stuff, because I'm like, oh, I have to work on Friday night, But also, like, I'm young, like, I can do that stuff when I'm older.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Dwayne and I have had the conversation many times where, like, I don't really know if I want to have kids or get married, or, like, those aren't things that I ever think about.
Well, I can tell you from experience, being married is overrated.
Legally married, absolutely.
It's an outdated concept.
No, it's totally stupid.
It's just ridiculous.
But
having kids, I love my son very, very much. I will not be having any more.
Well, I mean, okay, I love the idea of, like, committing your, like, love and life to someone, but I don't think it's something that I need to go and be like, yo, state of Idaho, like, I love this person enough to spend the rest of my life with them. Can I tie everything financially to them?
Yeah,
like,
no, it's not necessary.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really ever want to get, like, legally married, and I don't really know if I ever want to have kids. So I think about all the time, like, I could pick up my life and my 3 cats, and I could, like, move to Jamaica and bartend for the rest of my life and, like, live on a beach. Like,
That
I
would be
seriously think
fucking
about that
cool.
all the time.
If I had nothing holding me down here right now, I would love to go do something like that for a while.
But I'm also, like, I'm a runner. So, like, whenever I have, like, those, like
I'm going to go to Jamaica. It's
and be
like,
a bartender. It's
wherever I go, I'm still going to find myself there.
Well, it's still, like, it always happens when, like, I'm like, oh, well, I just went through this bullshit. Let's leave Idaho and go bartend in Jamaica. And it's like, that's not how you ever, like, learn anything or grow as a person. Like, that's, you can't run from your problems.
Well, yeah, true. But I can't say that, I don't think you could not grow as a person if you uprooted your life and moved to Jamaica to bartend. I feel like you would come back a different person. Like, you would
for
grow
sure. But if I, like,
just through that
went there,
experience alone. You'd be
if
like,
I
oh,
went
well,
there,
this is...
So, like, I just went through, like, a rough, like, ending with the person that I was, like, infatuated with. And so, like, if right at the end of that I had been like, I'm fucking done, bye Idaho, and just, like, uprooted and moved to Jamaica to, like, avoid, like, dealing with that, I would grow as a person, but I would never... Like, I still want to grow in the same way.
You could deal with it with a pina colada in your hand.
Dude, that's
on
what
the
I'm
beach.
saying.
Dude, check this out. Here's a great analogy. Let's say you have a house, and that house is just thrashed to shit. Totally dirty, disorganized.
Was Motley Crue hanging out there over the weekend?
All weekend.
Okay.
No, so that's your house, right? And then you're like, I know what's going to fix this problem. I'm going to move into a new house.
Right.
You move into this new house, and if you brought the person that you were when you left the other house, that new house would be like that old house pretty soon because the habits haven't changed.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that's what
I get it. No,
that
explanation was unnecessary. I understand what she was saying, but
I mean, okay,
I'm going to say it
not
anyways.
running
Maybe
from
that wasn't for you. Maybe that was for someone who was listening.
That's fair. You know what?
I mean,
I'm sorry, listener, to assume that you know everything about stuff.
I mean, okay, like, both of
That was
you
a weird
know.
sentence. I'm sorry.
Both of you know that I was, like, dating somebody that you work with, for, like, a little bit this year. And
I vaguely
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
So
so
I don't pay
that
attention.
Happened.
I don't pay attention to things that don't involve me
You're
directly.
talking about that chick?
Oh, shut up. That's a joke. But no, so one thing that, like, as soon as we broke up, I was like, I need to quit my job. And, like, I need to get a job somewhere else. And I think about that a lot, too, because if I had, like, that day, like, just up and quit and, like, put in my 2 weeks or whatever, like, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in now. Yeah. And, like, staying there definitely got me to where I am, like, career-wise, but also, like, having to sit there and, like, watch, like, him, like, date someone else and, like, work with him in, like, close proximity and, like, be forced to, like, talk to him and, like, deal with that. Like, it was hard, but it, like, definitely taught me a lot of things, and it got me to where I am now as a person way more than if I had just been like, bye, I'm out.
Yeah. No,
like,
and that's great that at 20 years old you figured that out. Cuz like when I was 20, I mean, still I'm 36 and I still sometimes I'm like, well, I could probably just never speak to this person again and it would be fine. Like so that's great. I think it's you have definitely shown a lot of growth over the last year or so since I've known you anyway. I
mean, I can, like, I just, like, feel it in my soul. Like, it's weird to go from, like, I don't know. I mean, I am young, so I can't be like, it's weird to go from, like, 19-year-old doesn't know what the fuck she's doing to, like, 20 and, like, feels like a whole human being. Like, that to me is amazing.
That's awesome. And then, at 25, you're going to feel like a whole different human being.
Oh,
and
yeah.
at 30, you're going to be a whole different human being. Like, you're going to go through this a lot in your life.
Missing anything. Like, that's like...
No, and that's great.
That's one thing that I think,
fantastic.
like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, if only I had this, then, like, I would be, like, happy. Or, like, if only, I'd, like, learned this lesson or dated this person, like, I would be, like, me as a person. And I actually was talking to one of the servers about this weekend, because she was like, oh, I just broke with my boyfriend and blah, 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 blah. She was like, I was the source of his happiness.
Right.
But she was like, I'm happy on my own. Like, don't you understand that? And, like, that is something that I don't feel like a lot of people ever learn is, like, you, like, are the only person that can make you happy. And, like, you are the only person that is, you. Yeah. Like, everything is about you. This
quote is attributed to Will Smith. I've seen it attributed to Will Smith a lot. I don't know for sure that he said it. But it's, I guess he was talking about Jada Pinkett, and he was like, I'm not responsible for her happiness. I'm responsible for my happiness. She's responsible for her happiness. And we're responsible for how we share our happiness with each other, which I think is a great outlook to have. It's a great way to look at things. He's like, no, it's not my job to make her happy.
There's that another one that's not really like what you just said, but another one that kind of fits into this little area that we're talking about. Don't look for somebody that's going to complete you. Look for somebody that's going to complement you.
Yeah.
Because, you need to be complete on your own kind of thing.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what's wrong with a lot of relationships nowadays, especially, like, in my generation, is that we're looking for, like, somebody to, like, be, like, dependent on and, like, we want to, like, share our lives with this person and have, like, this picture-perfect, like, Instagram relationship. Yeah. Where that's, like, like, you shouldn't be out there looking for a boyfriend or looking for a husband. Like, you should be out there looking for someone who, like, is going to be your life partner. Yeah. Like, that's going to do life with you. Because at the end of the day, like, you might love this person, but you guys might not be meant to be together. Yeah. Like, that's...
It might not matter in a year from now.
Yeah.
Like, I'll say that since having a son... Since having a child, I don't feel that, like, this is this last, I'd say, year, maybe, is, like, the first time in my life that I'm, like, I'm fine with being single, because, like, I have all the love that I need from my son. Like, he gives me that, and I have this little person that that I can teach things to, and play with and watch him grow and blah, blah. So, like, everything else now, it's like, all right, well, what are you bringing to the table? Because I got all this, so I don't need you. And so it's a nice feeling to be like, yeah, I'm good if I don't fucking, like, because with my hours and as a comic and I work a million jobs and I don't have a lot of free time anyway. So, like, at this point, I'm just like, are you cool? Well, can we chill? Yeah. Like, and I don't care if I don't. It's nice.
It's nice, like, figuring out your worth, and, like, that's, like, my, like, major goal for 2020 is not settling at all. Like, that's, like, I'm gonna go out and get everything I deserve. Like, I'm not gonna settle for things anymore.
Oh, I'll give you what you deserve. I'm sorry, that was unnecessary.
I'm just kidding. It's hilarious. But that's, like, as I've, like, started kind of, like, not even, like, seeing people, but, like, talking to, like, guys now, I'm like, well, like, this is what I expect, and it, like, makes it difficult because they're like, you're 20 years old, like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I can't deal with people my age, and I can't even deal with people remotely older than my age because they still don't know anything, and it's like it's hard to find people out there that are, like, where I'm at in life, and sometimes it kind of feels lonely because I feel like I, like, hit, like, this like, profound, like, enlightenment at such a young age that a lot of people don't have. And I don't, like, it's hard to find somebody to, like, talk to about it or, like, share that with.
Yeah. You know what's cool about just the fact that you're able to admit that it's kind of lonely is that whenever you're able to be vulnerable enough to admit, hey, it is lonely, it makes it a little less lonely because there's people out there that are going to be able to relate.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit, yeah, no, I'm not the only one that's feeling lonely right now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel alone a lot. And, like, as much as it's hilarious that I have 3 cats, like, I got pets because I lived alone and, like, I was alone and one cat quickly turned into 3. But, it's nice having something else there.
You had a pregnant cat?
No.
I'm gonna tell you right now. The day you come to work smelling like a cat is when I'm gonna pull you aside and say, Shade, you have a problem.
Eric, if I ever